Hello all, welcome to the playlist of Basic Mathematics. Today our topic is equivalence relation. Let us start with the definition of equivalence relation. By the term relation, what first came into our mind is that we have a non-empty set and a relation on the set A is nothing but subset of A cross A. Now this relation R, which is subset of A cross B, is known as equivalence relation if and only if it satisfies three properties. And what are these three properties is that the first one, it should be reflexive, the second one, it should be symmetric, and the third one says it should be transitive. If a relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then only we can say that my relation R is an equivalence relation. If any of the three properties is not satisfied, then we cannot say that my relation is equivalence relation. So here is the definition. Now let us see some examples. The first example says that we have a set of all the lines in the plane. So we have a non-empty set which is containing the lines L1, L2, L3 and so on. Now L comma P, ordered pair LP, it belongs to the relation R if and only if the line L is parallel to the line P. So means if I have this line L and another line P and they both are parallel to each other. This is clearly an equivalence relation because we know that a line is parallel to itself, and if L is parallel to P, then P is also parallel to L, and if L is parallel to P and P is again parallel to some line Q, then L and P are again parallel to each other. The next one is congruent to relation on the set of all the triangles. Now in the set A we have what? We have set of triangles, and relation is congruent to, which is also an equivalence relation because we know that if triangle 1 we have, then it is congruent to itself, and if it is congruent to triangle number 2, then triangle 2 is also congruent to triangle 1. And if triangle 2 is congruent to triangle number 3, then triangle 1 is also congruent to triangle 3. So which is very simple now. The next example is mod M relation is also an equivalence relation. So the point here is, what is mod M? Mod M relation says what? If A comma B is in the relation R and R relation is defined on mod M, then A is congruent to B mod M, which means that A minus B is divisible by M, and it also means that A minus B is equals to some constant times M. So this is my definition of mod M. Now let us prove that mod M relation is my equivalence relation. So we have defined mod M, so let us do it here. Now the first thing we have to do is to prove its reflexivity. To prove the reflexivity, what we let any element from the set of A on which my relation is defined. In this statement there is no mention that what set we have given and on what relation is defined. So if we have this kind of case, we directly consider the set of integers here. So I considered an integer A belongs to the set of integers, and if A comma A belongs to the relation R, it means what? That A is congruent to A mod M, and which means that A minus A is equals to some constant times M, where K is also some integer, which is true because 0 is equals to some constant times M, or we can say that 0 is divisible by M, and it is a universal truth that 0 is divisible by every integer. Hence my relation R is a reflexive relation here. Now For symmetricity, we consider what? We consider two elements from the set of integers, and if a comma b belongs to the relation R, then it means that A is congruent to B mod M. It also means that A minus B is divisible by M. We can write it as A minus B is equals to some constant times M. So we can skip that step here also. So if A minus B is divisible by M, then minus of A minus B is also divisible by M. If minus of A minus B is divisible by M, it means that B minus A is divisible by M. And if B minus A is divisible by M, we can write it like B is congruent to A mod M. And if B is congruent to A mod M, we can write what? That B comma A is in the relation R. So we have considered that A comma B is in the relation, and we concluded that B comma A is also in the relation. So this means my relation R is a symmetric relation. Now for transitivity, we consider three elements from the set and construct the relation A comma B belongs to the relation and B comma C belongs to the relation. If A comma B is in the relation, then it means A is congruent to B mod M. And if B comma C is in the relation, then B is congruent to C mod M. And if A is congruent to B mod M, then it means that A minus B is some K1 times M and B minus C is some K2 times M. Now let us add these both equations. A minus B plus B minus C is equals to K1 times M plus K2 times M. Here B is cancelled and it becomes A minus C is equals to some K1 plus K2 times M. Now K1 and K2 are integers. Then addition of K1 and K2 is also going to be an integer. So we can say that A minus C is divisible by M. And if A minus C is divisible by M, we can say that A is congruent to C mod M, and A congruent to C mod M direct implies that A minus C, so A comma B ordered pair belongs to the relation R. So we have considered A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, and in the end we get that A comma C is also in the relation R. This proves that my relation R is a transitive relation, and if any relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, we can say my relation is a equivalence relation. Now let us move to the another example in which I have the set as n cross n. So in the previous example we had an set A which was the set of integers and which were containing some elements, and elements like 1, 2 and so on too. It also had contained minus and plus also. So now in this set I have n cross n which contains the ordered pairs A comma B, where A and B both belongs to the natural number n. Now on the set n cross n, my relation is defined as, and if my set is containing the elements and ordered pairs, the relation will also contains the ordered pairs. So if A comma B is related to C comma D, implies that A into D is equals to B into C. And how we can remember it is, the first element of the first ordered pair multiplies with the second element of the second ordered pair, and the second element of first ordered pair multiplies with the first element of second ordered pair. This is how we can remember that. So we have defined it here like that. Now the first point here is to prove the reflexivity. For reflexivity we consider what? A single element from the set, and set is my n cross n, which contains ordered pair. So my element here is A comma B. Now I have to define relation on it. A comma B is related to A comma B. It implies that first element will map to the second element of the second ordered pair. A into B is equals to second element of into first element of the second ordered pair. It becomes B times A, and they both are the set of integers, and we know that set of integers are commutative in nature. So this is true, and hence my relation is reflexive. Now for symmetric we have to consider two elements. So let me consider A comma B and C comma D, two different elements in the relation, in the set n cross n, and we have to define a relation on that. That is, A comma B is related to C comma D. It implies that A into D is equals to B into C, and since they are commutative in nature, we can say that D times A is equals to C times B, and also left hand side let be written as CB and right hand side to be DA. Fine. Now they both are in multiplication, so we can say left hand side of the relation contains what? We have to define like this. So in the left hand side I have C into B. So the first element C is the first element of the first ordered pair, and the second element is the second element of last ordered pair. Now on the right hand side, the first element is what? The last element of the first ordered pair, and the second A is the first element of the second ordered pair. Now in the relation we have considered that A comma B is related to B comma D, C comma D, and in the end we get that C comma D is related to A comma B. So hence we can say that my relation is symmetric relation. Now for transitivity we consider three elements from the set. So let A comma B, C comma D and E comma F be the elements of n cross n. So if A comma B is related to C comma D and C comma D is related to E comma F, then A into D is equals to B into C, and C into F is equals to D into E. Now multiply both of them. A into D into C into F is equals to B into C into D into F. C and C cancelled, D and D also cancelled. So we get here is A into F is equals to B into E. So I have to represent it into the form of relation. Now A will be here and F will be here, B will be here and E will be here. Now we have considered A comma B is related to C comma D, and C comma D is further related to E comma F, and in the end we concluded that A comma B is related to E comma F. Hence my relation R is a transitive relation on n cross n. And if any relation is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, then relation is equivalence relation. Now the next example is inclusion of a subset in another. In the context of a universal set, an equivalence relation in the class of subsets of the set, justify your answer. So, firstly we have to understand what our questions say. Question says inclusion of a subset in another. So, inclusion means containing the set in another. So, we will consider power set of X and we will comment on this now. X be a non-empty set and P of X be the power set of the X. Now, firstly we have to prove if it is reflexive or not. For reflexive, we consider only one set from the set which is given. So, A belongs to the power set of A and we also know that any set A is subset of itself. So, it means that A is subset equals to A, hence my relation R is reflexive here. Now, for symmetric, let us consider two sets, that is A comma B from the power set of X, and let A is related to B, or we can say that ordered pair A comma B is in the relation R, then it implies that A is subset equals to B. But it does not means that B is also subset equals to A. So hence we will say that the relation R is not symmetric here. Now, if we have to prove the transitivity, we have to consider three sets now. Let A, B and C be in the power set of X, and if A comma B belongs to the relation R and B comma C also belongs to the relation R, it means that A is subset equals to B and B is subset equals to C. It means that A is also subset of C, which means that A comma C belongs to the relation R. Hence, my relation R is transitive relation, but it is not symmetric. My relation R is reflexive, transitive, but not symmetric. Hence, the relation R is not an equivalence relation. I hope you enjoyed the session and it was useful. If you have any questions or any doubts, you can contact me using this email address. Happy learning!